everyone, Matthew here, MMA Uncensored. So we are back. We've got a special treat for you today. We have the former Invicta FC featherweight champion, the Phenom, Felicia Spencer. All right, so we're going to bring her on. She is actually here. Bear with me 1 second. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. I know it was very last minute, so I just want to thank you very much for being flexible.
Yeah, always happy to do it.
Awesome. So you're in camp right now, I assume?
I am. Yeah, I have a fight in less than 7 weeks now. So yeah, May 22nd.
Okay. When camp start?
I normally shoot for 8 weeks. Honestly, though, I've been training pretty consistently for a while, but the official 8-week camp started, so the countdown is on.
Nice. And you train over at the Jungle, right?
I do. Yeah, the Jungle out here in Orlando.
Okay. Yeah, they've got some good fighters out of there, I've seen.
Yeah, we've got a great team. Amateurs and pros. On the local level, especially, and even just a lot of badasses who don't really have interest in competing, but just, great training partners and stuff like that. So I always feel like the baddest people on the planet are people we've never met or never heard of, They're just in the gym hanging out.
Best training partners though, right?
Yeah, for sure. No egos usually.
So you went 6-0 in Invicta. Tell me about that. That's pretty impressive. I know that was a tough promotion.
Yeah, I feel really lucky to have started my pro career, my pro debut in Invicta, and it was a great experience to get you ready for the bigger stage with the bigger stage being the UFC, of course, and just the whole fight week experience. They definitely found me tough opponents, and I was able to push myself and go undefeated all the way to the title over there. So I'm definitely grateful for Shannon and the whole team, the whole opportunity. I think it's a unique experience to have the whole fight week experience, pretty similar to how the UFC does it.
Oh, of course. And I saw that you went undefeated all the way up until the title, both times, correct? For both titles?
I had only one title. Yeah, I had only one title. And then
with Amanda, correct?
Okay, yeah, the Cyborg fight too was a loss before that one, but
okay.
Yeah, other than Cyborg and Amanda, I'm undefeated.
But two of the top contenders in the world, one considered the GOAT. I mean, how does that feel? I mean, you're in the elite.
Yeah. I guess it's like an easier loss to take, having the two legends on the losing side. I definitely went into both of those fights expecting to win, but I was able to learn a lot, and it made it. It's kind of nice to be able to say that I've only lost to the very best. But that's not really the goal going into it. But
no, I know.
It's an easier pill to swallow, I guess.
Okay. So in some recent talks, Misha Tate's coming back out of retirement. How do you feel about that?
I think that's exciting, it's all about is she ready to, mentally, seems like in a really great place, and seems like she genuinely just wants to compete and train again, and great for her. She seems like she really needed the retirement when it happened, but as life goes on and she was able to come back, that's awesome that she's able to do that. So I'm all for it.
You think that would be a fight for you?
I don't know what weight class she's coming back at, but I don't see why not if it was an option. Everything's kind of up in the air as far as weight classes, and especially the featherweight division right now. So I kind of learned the news at the same time as everybody about what's what happens, and my next fight and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Okay.
But it'd be a cool fight. It'd be a cool matchup if she'd like to do it.
Now, you're 145. Would you go down if you had to?
It's not really in the cards right now, but I always tell the UFC if I'm ever able to make the weight, I'll let you know. But right now, it's not really in the cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, just asking. You never know.
Yeah.
Some fighters like to go up. Some fighters like to go down.
Yeah.
So, how would you feel about that fight with her, though? I mean, her being such an icon in the sport and being around for so long.
To me, it'd be like any other fight. You know, I've already faced, you know, like I said, legends, and it doesn't really. I don't think it really phases me as much. Like, it's just another person that's been training, and I've been training my whole life, and she's been training pretty much her whole life. You know, so it's just a matter of who's going to make the best decisions on fight night, and we're just two humans in there. You know, so. But it would definitely be cool. It'd be cool to have a big fight like that, and it's, you know, it's always nice to have, you know, eyes on the prize, or, you know, eyes on the fight, and to be able to have a win against someone like Misha Tate would definitely be a big deal. You know, I don't overlook that. Like, it would be a really big win for me. So
Okay. Yeah. No, we actually we heard in an interview that she said, you're a hell of a fighter, and you she actually said there's only a couple of people in that weight class, you, and then actually the person you're fighting, and she, I believe, chose you as a favor. That's why I'm asking. And there was talks 145, 135. I believe she's going 135. So, and that's why I asked about the weight cut.
yeah. I'm pretty sure she's already booked at that weight class, and I'm not sure, you know, who knows if she'd be wanting to jump around. I imagine she's just gunning for the title at 135, so probably wouldn't want to be playing around too much in different divisions, although it might be a quicker run to a title in featherweight division. But that's really awesome to hear that, you know, someone with her, you know, with her background, and just, you know, someone I've watched fight for many, many years, to say, you know, to have a positive opinion about me. So that's cool. Awesome news.
News isn't always bad news, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right. So,
Well, it's got to be good, and I'm asking you, how does it feel being one of those top contenders, being in, the top 5, the top 3, or the number 1 contender? How does it feel?
yeah, it's really, I guess it's kind of weird. It doesn't really hit me or strike me as that, like, until someone says it. Like, I've just been doing my thing over here, you know, like, just living a normal, you know, I guess, like, a normal life, my normal life. And, you know, I go train, and I fight, and I, you know, I have a dog, and this and that. And, yeah, it's kind of crazy that at the same time, I'm also, like, considered a top contender in the division. So for me, it's just like, that's just what I do, you know, so it's just normal.
So how do you feel about this fight coming up?
I'm excited. You know, it's kind of a strange fight, because Danielle Wolf is who I'm fighting, and she was actually a boxer. She was an Olympic hopeful, and this and that. And so she's got a really long boxing career, and she transitioned into MMA. And so for a lot of people, well, at least for me, I kind of explain it like how when Randy Couture fought James Toney, the boxer, transitioned over to MMA, and, you know, it was kind of like not a show fight. It was like a curiosity fight. Like, how is this going to work out? Like, having a high level boxer come in and, you know, try to do MMA. So it's kind of similar, like, people, because she's got a very short record. She only fought on the Contender Series, and now she's fighting me, you know, so it's kind of like a big jump for her. For me, this one kind of feels like a must win, you know, like, I have to win this fight. It's kind of probably the expected, you know, outcome. And so for her, I'm kind of happy for her. It's like a huge opportunity. It's like jumping in right to the top. Like, she has this big opportunity to, you know, make a statement, although I don't intend to let her do that. So it's kind of like a win-win for her. You know, she's going to get to fight me, and win or lose is kind of a win for her.
Okay. No, hey, speak your mind. That's why we're here. We definitely want to know. Always on pre-fight. Maybe we can get you back on a post-fight. You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, training here in Florida, is that something that you've always done?
Yeah, I've lived here most of my life, honestly. I was, you know, I'm Canadian, but my family moved when I was young, so I've pretty much lived in Florida my whole life. And I've been, for my whole pro career, I was at the jungle. Like, I haven't moved since, really. And that kind of thing, at least since I've been doing MMA. And sorry if you hear any noise, my dog's like really jealous when I talk on the phone. So he's just like
It's
nibbling on
okay.
my hands, trying to pull me away. um, but yeah, so it's a great place to be able to train, and it's hot in the summer, which I like, and you can train outside and sweat. So the only thing that kind of hard is the humidity, but you get
Yeah.
used to it. It makes you sweat more. It's kind of weird when I go train, like if I go visit other places and I go jog or something and I don't sweat. It's like, oh, why? Why am I not sweating? It's kind of weird to not be just drenched in sweat all the time.
So what's a normal day of training for you?
Well, it kind of depends on the day, but usually in camp I'll have like 2 sessions. Sorry. And so I do like one session either striking or grappling or wrestling, and then come home, hang out, eat, kind of relax, and then go back out. And the early morning, I'll wake up early to, just get ready for the day. My husband and I started a business. My husband's a roofer. Well, he's a fighter also, but he's also been roofing his whole life. So we started a roofing business. So we're kind of like looking forward to that as, the life after fighting. Like this is our, we have an opportunity to do something with that. So so I help with that. I'm like the secretary in the morning, and then go train, and then, get my stuff together and go back later to train again. And then we're
Nice.
exhausted. So
Staying busy.
yeah, I'd always rather be busy than bored. So I make sure that's always happening.
So you sound pretty confident about this next opponent. You sound really good and that's always good to have a clear head before a fight.
Yeah, I have a pretty straightforward like idea of what to expect. Like I said, obviously she's a boxer. She's been training and developing new tools, so I expect like a full, complete MMA fighter in there. But I also just know that I have reps of everything. I have reps of everything I'm going to do, everything I'm going to see, and also like historically, I do really well against like tall strikers. So that's just kind of like my game is just built for that. I think like I'm, more of a ground fighter. People know me for that, and I think it just played well into my game plan. So, I mean, I don't think experience is everything, but I think it is something. Like it matters a little bit in there.
I would imagine. So you came into the UFC what 2019? Was that the year?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, or 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
losing track.
Has the whole pandemic affected your training?
For my last fight camp against Nunes, it was like as soon as the pandemic started is when my training camp started.
Oh
But
man.
we were able to figure it out. Like it was a must figure out situation. Like we didn't just sit around. Like we figured it out. I was able to still train and, have a group that I would get together with and go into the gym, lock the doors and, do what I had to do, train at the park here and there. So, um, and then after that, Florida kind of opened up pretty soon after my Nunes, or actually before my Nunes fight, although I didn't really go out and want to risk having COVID and losing my opportunity, which is a whole other thing that fighters go through now. So yeah, after that, when I started to train again after my fight, everything was basically back to normal. Like the gym has a lot of like extra hand washing and different stuff like that. But other than that, it was kind of I think you're in Florida too, so we're kind of in a unique experience. Like I forget sometimes how shut down everything is. People are losing gyms and jobs, and over here the things are kind of rolling. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
definitely like nice for the job that I have and what I need to do. It's nice to be able to just kind of freely do that and not really stress about it. So yeah.
Okay. Is that a fight you could see happening again?
I kind of feel like Amanda might be, I don't know, part of me thinks Amanda might retire, but then part of me is like, why would she retire until she starts to take damage? So yeah, I could see that happening again, getting to that point where or I'm next in line again. You know, I think it would take more than one win, but yeah, I mean, the division's not super stacked, so 2 wins maybe, you know, depending on my performance, because I know that she looked, you know, she shut down my game a lot, and I didn't show much reason to give me a rematch, you know, too soon. But I think if I can come out strong and look good in my next 2 fights, I think I can make a good case, you know, to come back, and that would be something I'm definitely willing to do. And you know, I still feel like I would be able to to beat her and find those openings and exploit them. You know, especially having been there and experienced it once. So that's, you know, that's nice.
What'd you think about her last performance? Actually, very dominant.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy how good she is. Sorry that the table's shaking now. He's pouncing it around. She's so confident that she doesn't like rush anything. And in my fight, she didn't rush anything. She just waited for openings, and she's fine waiting for the openings. And Megan, in the last fight, the opening came, you know, pretty soon. I feel like Megan was maybe a little more hesitant in the first round, and you know, obviously we all saw how it played out. It looked like she was a little struck, you know, just kind of like not panicked, but maybe panicked. I don't know. But yeah, I think her performance is a classic Amanda performance. You know, she puts them away. So
Yeah.
you know, I guess except for me and a couple others.
Do you consider
So,
her the GOAT?
yeah, you know, I think there's a pretty good argument for that. You know, historically, everyone would say Cyborg, you know, is the GOAT, or Ronda. I put, you know, at this point, you know, just her resume is you know, years after that argument, that is it Cyborg or is it Nunes? Years later, it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's Nunes, but at the same time, Cyborg's been racking up some victories out in Bellator, and they have a great division. So, oh, Fluffy, stop it! He's really nibbling on my finger hard. He does not like it when I talk to people on the phone. Come here, Fluffy. Come to me. So
So,
yeah, you know, it's a good argument to have, but I would lean toward Nunes.
okay. Okay. How was it training for Cyborg? I know that had to be a, you know, in your mind, like before you even looking at Nunes, you had to have said, man, I'm going against Cyborg.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of like a dream come true. I had been talking with my team about that possibility for years, you know, like, oh, it was like a one day when I fight Cyborg, this is gonna happen, you know, and then it became like, oh, I'm fighting, you know, I'm fighting Cyborg. It's crazy, like, you know, everyone was just happy for the situation, like how, you know, everything that I worked for panned out, and it was just like a mind blowing experience for me and my whole team. So, and then you know, the whole fight week experience and everything, it was just like unforgettable. You know, the whole countdown show and just all of it, all rolled in. It was, you know, I guess you can't say like you know what to expect going in, but it was like it really was a special time. You know.
What did you think about her leaving the promotion?
You know, I was bummed because it meant one less featherweight in the division, and you know, I'm always hoping to keep building the featherweight division, and but you know, at the same time, she has every right to do what she feels is right for her, you know, at the time, and you know, I understand like if she wants to make that decision, and there was some, you know, just weird bad blood with Dana and whatever, so. Yeah, I just kind of accept everyone's decisions to do whatever they want and roll with the punches, you know?
Good way to be. So, what are some of your goals for the next year, 2 years? Where do you see yourself? You see yourself with the UFC, you know, fighting for the title?
You know, I try not to look too far ahead. Like it's kind of hard to look ahead because there's always like what and there's always like even the question, is my division going to be around, you know, like at the UFC level. And so I'm just like, all right, I have a fight lined up, so I know I'm fighting in May, and then beyond that, I don't really know what's going to happen. Like I can see myself continuing to, fight for the UFC and taking whatever opponent they have next. Or if things change, I really am just like, all right, I'll just have to wait and see and evaluate my options when they're presented to me. Like, with the rumors that the division is closing, like, well, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take a pay cut to go back to fight for Invicta, but I'd have to consider my options at that point. Or maybe it'd be time for me to start a family. Like I'm kind of like open. I don't have any like desire to stop fighting right now, but it would be just all the things I would want to consider, if my UFC career was over, in May, like, which I hope it's not, but the way that, people talk about it sometimes, it's like it is going to be, but I have a pretty optimistic outlook. Like the fact that they're even having my fight, I feel like they're trying to push me, and they signed Danielle, and why would they be attempting to sort of build the division if they're not really going to keep it around, So I feel like they should be adding more people and adding more fights, but that's not my job either. So again, just roll with the punches here. I don't know. Just the kind of mindset I've had to develop over the years of uncertainty and, just everything. So.
Okay. So, and that was very well said. But there was a few other fighters that said something about going to boxing, or, they've even got some fighters going bare knuckle boxing, like Paige Van Zandt. How did you feel? Did you see that fight?
I did. Yeah. It was actually the first time I ever watched the bare knuckle event. It was a fun event. I have zero interest in doing bare knuckle. Like especially if you had the intention to come back to MMA, it's just like, I feel like the damage that you take, the scar tissues, like you're going to be cut open from anything that hits you for the rest of your life, for the most part. But either way, again, like bare knuckle boxing just isn't my passion. I don't feel like I would ever get passionate for that. Like doing MMA, the full package is, especially with my strength being on the ground, I just, if there was no MMA, I don't think I would transition into boxing, or, like I might do grappling super fights or something if I felt the need to, but, it would be time to just move on. Like there's always a time for someone or for everyone to step away. And like, I hope it's not soon, but, if when the time comes, I'll know, and it'll be a clean break, Although I'm
Okay.
sure I will always be a lifelong, training partner. I love training. I love martial arts. Like the lifestyle is ingrained in me. So, I would always be training. Competing is just a whole different aspect of my life. So.
Now, what about One Championship? If you've heard about their promotion?
Yeah, that would, like I said, all the options I would have to consider. If there was no, obviously the pinnacle is UFC, but if there was no UFC promotion anymore for me, I would just have to consider all the options. And if it's kind of like, is the pay right? Then why not? Like if I could make it happen, then why not? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't care. You just line me up an opponent and stick me in.
Yeah, why not? Like, I don't know that they have a featherweight division in one, but there's a couple other promotions that do, and I don't know if they would be having a deep roster and like looking to sign,
They've
someone
got
like
a
me.
good promotion. They definitely have
Yeah,
a good promotion. They've got a good thing going over there.
yeah,
That's why I asked.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm saying I definitely know they have a good a long history of their promotion, and they're solid. They're in their region, especially, big
Mhm.
names. And even there's another fighter out of Orlando that fights for them, Troy Worthen, I think is his name. So I hear good things, and it seems like they treat their fighters really well. So definitely, again, I'd have to consider it. And maybe Misha would have some leverage, right? Talk to
Oh
Misha.
man. Okay. So what are some of the things you're very confident, you sound good, your training's going well. What are some of the things you could say to your next opponent?
Like as far as when I see her in the cage.
You know what? Every fighter has something to say, like I'm coming, I'm strong, um, This is me this time. I'm not sure what they say.
Yeah, I guess it's be a little out of character for me to like say something mean, right? But I guess like just I'm glad that I had the opportunity to take another fight, and sorry that they didn't give you like a more easy sort of matchup to build to this point. But I'm glad that we're fighting. I think it'll be a fun fight to watch. So let's bring it.
There you
That's
go. Let's
all.
bring it. That was a good one. I was
That's
tongue
what I
tied
was
for a second.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna put it on you, but let's try to put it on each other, and I'll get
Put a
my
good
hand raised,
show.
but it'll be fun. Yeah.
Nice. Very well said. Any shout outs you want to make? Any thank yous? We're gonna go ahead and this will be live on YouTube. Everyone go see it. Got the ticker right below.
Well, I think Fluffy wants to say thank you for the time, and
Thank you,
yeah.
Fluffy.
And I always have to thank my team, and one of my longest more personal sponsors is the Other Side Apparel, who makes really just exceptional hand wraps. Right now that's actually the only product that they make, but it's like hand wraps for striking that like you've never ever worn a hand wrap like it before. So they're for sale online, the Other Side Apparel, but and they've been supporting me since my Invicta days, just helping me out, and I haven't worn another hand wrap since. So I always like to thank them for the support.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show such short notice, and we hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully, we get you back on here one day.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Alrighty. Well, you have yourself a good day, and good luck to you on your next fight.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Alrighty. So you've heard it from Felicia Spencer. Training's going good. Level head's going good. She is ready for her next fight. She also said that she will be fighting towards regaining that title shot. It's not going to be easy, but it's always good when a fighter, says it. They say, I want to go back for that title. That's that no give up that they have. Love it. Love it. So Matthew here, MMA Uncensored out. We hope you enjoyed the show.